Crusader Kings 3, a game where you play as a medieval ruler and can do anything you want. You want to turn the Catholic Church into a nudist colony? You can do that. Do you want to become the richest man alive and exploit peasants? You can do that. Do you want to start an incestuous religion? You can do that.
What are you doing, step bro?
I'm starting to see why this game has mainstream appeal. Well, today we're not going to be doing any of that. We're going to become the most renowned and legendary dynasty of all time through this little exploit I found in the brand new DLC, to the point where I was making 1,000 renown per month. Usually people can't even scrape together 100 renown per lifetime to disinherit their frumpy looking kid, so they have to become a little bit of a tyrant and execute the kid. Sheesh. All that to say, this exploit was incredibly easy to pull off, and I did it in under 300 years. So come on and join me, I'm really excited. We're gonna be starting as Count Hastings of Montague. Basically, he's got these 3,000 guys. They're special men-at-arms units that can conquer pretty much anything. Not only that, but he's Norse, meaning that we have the opportunity to wage special kinds of wars, such as the Varangian Adventure, which essentially leaves your old land behind and starts a new life somewhere else. We also have a little bit of historical significance. Count Hastings was actually very famous for going down to raid Hispania and the Mediterranean, which plays perfectly into this exploit today. You'll also note that his level of splendor starts as obscure, pretty much one of the worst ones you can start as. All in all, he's one of the most versatile characters you can play and one of the easiest for this exploit. Now, we can't get started right without picking a good name. Now, I know in my first renowned speedrun video, a lot of you loved that I brought the Kardashian dynasty to the forefront of Bohemian society. But since then, that dynasty's fallen to ashes, and it's time for us to resurrect it. And who doesn't love a good comeback story? The Mighty Ducks, Tiger Woods.
Kim Kardashian?
Kim, well,
In the video, she gets cum on her back, I think.
All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, it's time to get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take a look at my wife here. Now, my wife, not fantastic. She's 32, comely. I mean, she's okay, not great. Let's go ahead and divorce her, and we will get a much better wife. I'm gonna try and find somebody that is fecund. There's nobody. I don't believe that. Okay, so this woman, Amazonian, and I'll be quick. Chance of children, very high, so let's lock that in. Next up, we have to pick our lifestyle. So we have some perks in the martial tree and some perks in the learning tree. If we take a look in the martial tree, we have overseer, and in the learning lifestyle tree, we have whole of body. It appears to be kind of glitched out here, but for the most part, we're doing all right. I think I'm going to go up the intrigue tree and down the temptation focus, which will give us a boost to our fertility, because we want to be having a ton of kids super quickly.
Groovy, baby.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is attack Sardinia. I'm going to go ahead and declare war, and I'm gonna use our special casus belli, the Varangian Adventure. We really want to get a foothold down here in the Mediterranean, and I'll explain why in just a second.
Gotcha, bitch.
And then we can enforce the demands, and now we have a little piece of Sardinia down here. And the reason I picked Sardinia is because there's a special building down here, a silver mine. And you'll see we'll get 3 gold per month with this. This is almost a 300% increase in our gold per month. That's gonna be huge. Not only that, but it also increases development. Like, this building is overpowered. In my opinion, this is probably the best place to start as somebody new to the game, because you can get so much gold so quickly. And if there's one thing viewers of this channel know about me, it's that I love money. Speaking of, this video is sponsored by World War Armies, a classic real-time mobile strategy game from Hype Masters, great for when you're on the go. It's directly inspired by PvP PC games where 2 players battle head-to-head. The game features mechanical motivations from titles like Company of Heroes and Steel Division, and it's got a ton of World War II authentic infantry units and vehicles. You can play as Germany, the US, or one new nation coming out on game day release. Each nation has unique generals with special abilities and skills, who you can level up. Some can launch airstrikes, others allow you to collect more resources, and who doesn't love that? It's an online PvP game where your skill alone decides who wins, with amazing 3D graphics and precise unit controls, which allow players to experiment with offensive and defensive maneuvers. Some units can heal, others do DPS, and some are just, well, tanks. The game releases globally today, and if you follow the link in the description, you not only receive the M8 Greyhound tank unit, but tokens immediately after finishing the tutorial. So you'll notice after that ad break, I have a ton of money and 500 gold also. So I'm gonna use that gold to buy other buildings. I'm gonna pick up trade ports and farms and fields anywhere I can because those are probably the best buildings. Not only do they give you tax, but they also increase your development. Now we can look to our neighbor here. This guy's only got 600 dudes.
You're pathetic.
We can declare war against him for this duchy and we'll raise all our boys and fire him in. This should be a quick and easy clap. And we got a 100% war score from taking the second holding. So let's go ahead and enforce those demands and disband all. So we are now the fine holder of the Jarldom of Sardinia. And with that, we now have the decision to secure the Mediterranean. So let's go over this really quickly. The requirements for this are that we need to completely control the Duchy of Majorca, the Duchy of Sardinia, the Duchy of Corsica, and the Duchy of Salamid, or what is also known as Sicily. And if we could do that, we get insane bonuses, like just nutty. We get this new kingdom of Baleo-Tyrrheania.
If you have ever been supporting a child who is having a hard time reading, you know that when you tell them to sound it out, they don't always know exactly what that means.
Tyrrheania? Baleo-Tyrrheania.
Not even close, baby.
And the House Kardashian will not only get controlling the Mediterranean, which gives a boost to our prestige, our renown, holding taxes, development, it also gives us an insane house modifier that it doesn't actually describe here, but you'll see is definitely completely not broken at all. So one of the other things I haven't been doing is seducing my wife. So let's go ahead and start seducing her. There's a 95% chance. And then I also need to be taking some concubines. I want to be having as many children as humanly possible. So how do you become legendarily famous? And that's very simple to understand. You basically grow the amount of renown you have until you hit a certain threshold. And how do you get renown? Well, there's two ways to do it. The first is by having up to 100 living house members. For each house member, you get a small fraction of renown, and it's capped at 100. Easy. So in order to hit that cap, I need to be having as many kids as possible. To do that, I'm going to be going down seducer schemes, picking up different perks, praying to different gods, doing anything to be a goddamn whore. Speaking of being an absolute whore, I'm trying to hit my sub goal of 30,000 subs by the end of next month. And if everybody watching could just hit that subscribe button, I could meet my goal and be one step closer to doing this full time. Okay, that was me whoring myself out. Back to the explanation. The second way you get renown is by having your dynasty or house members hold a title. So you get 0.12 for each baron, 0.25 for each count, 0.5 for a duke, 1 for a king, and 2 for an emperor. Now, if your house members simply married to somebody that holds one of these titles, they get a small percentage of this, and they're considered a count by marriage or a duke by marriage, but not a full-on count. I said count. 2, I'm going to be marrying my kids off. I'll try and marry my sons to people that either have titles or that are in line for titles, and I'll marry my daughters in matrilineal marriages, meaning their children will be of our house, and if they inherit a title, we will get the renown. And the final thing I'm gonna do is just conquer lands on my own and grant it away to people of my house. And I forgot to mention that certain artifacts will give you a small amount of renown as well, so I'll be hunting for those. But with all things, there is a crazy exploit associated with the decision I just showed you that is going to absolutely break the game. And we'll get there. I'll explain that, I promise. Okay, so we have 3,000 troops. Down here, they only have 300. Oh, dude, we gotta pull the trigger on this. Let's declare war against him, and we'll conquer this duchy of the Salamid Emirate. Oh, and we had a nice daughter. Beautiful. You will be alliance fodder the daughter. To may you grow strong and wise, alliance fodder the daughter. So we have a perk for our intrigue focus, and I'm gonna pick up like weeds in a garden to boost our fertility even more. Oh, and we seized an absolutely sick artifact from him. This is quite poggers. So finally, we can enforce the demands on this war here. We went back and forth forever. So now what I really need to do is to increase the power of my holdings. So these 3 holdings down here, I want to be just maxing out the buildings in them. But as a Viking, this is incredibly easy. We can always go on raids or ransom people off. Look, I'm going to ransom all my prisoners from war here. Perfect. We got 200 gold just for that. Easy as you like. And we can turn around and flip that into trade ports, into farms and fields, into whatever we like. So my son has come of age. He's 16 years old, and it's time to get him a good wife. Now, again, we're always going to look for somebody that is fecund, because that gives us a plus 50% fertility. She's Polish, so some of our viewers will absolutely love that. that? Awesome.
Hello there.
Now, I usually don't play as Hastings' first son, but this guy's diligent, sadistic, and content, all kind of good traits. Like, he's not amazing, but he's not bad. But if we take a look at our succession, that's usually where things fall apart, right? You build something up and your land fractures into a million pieces. Well, today I'm going to explain to you Scandinavian Succession and why it's absolutely sick. So you can see that we'll be gaining all these titles when we die, but we'll lose not only the entire Duchy of Sardinia, but a holding up here. So for my main title, I'm going to click on the title, and then I'm going to hit add laws. Now, these Scandinavians have a special succession law. It turns your title from being inherited by your primary heir to a vote as to who will get the title. So we're gonna pass this Scandinavian elective. So let's cast our ballot for our son.
Thank you so much.
Now, if you actually take a look at our succession, you'll see that we get to keep all of the Earldom of Sicily and all of these other holdings, and we don't lose any of them because our heir is in line for the primary titles.
Nice.
Okay, we had another son. We are just pumping out the kids here. Oh, our concubine's pregnant again. We're actually flying here. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I completely forgot to determine a personal deity. So let's dedicate our worship to Freya. She'll give us a boost to our fertility as well. That's actually kind of sick.
I'm the most fucking fertile dude I know.
Now, Hispania's in a bit of disarray. They've completely exploded. So I'm gonna send my boys in just to start raiding the capitals everywhere. Raiding the capitals is actually more profitable than raiding the countryside. For example, if I raid this capital here, the loot I'm gonna get is 17. Similarly, if I raid a city over here, I'll get 14 loot. But the thing about the capital is that's where all kinds of important people related to dukes and counts live. So if you capture one of them as a hostage, for example, this guy, well, not only did I get the loot from the raid, but I'm also able to ransom this guy off for gold. By raiding this capital, I got 27 gold. The other thing I'll say about raiding is you want to raid people that are kind of smaller than you. Basically, you want to maintain as many guys as possible for as long as possible. If he comes in and challenges you, even if you win it, you may lose soldiers, and that decreases the amount of loot you can carry. Okay, so we've come back from our raid now. We've got 613 gold. So let's start flipping this back into our holdings. I'm gonna pick up walls and towers. We might also consider attacking Majorca here and just picking up the duchy so we can enforce the demands down here. Beautiful. And Majorca is now ours. So now for our sick Renown play, we also have to do some management of our kids. We've had 13 kids so far. We've really been pumping them out. Now we have to kind of make a play for that. So let's take a look at our daughter. Let's get her into a matrilineal marriage. We're using her essentially as alliance fodder.
It all makes sense now.
We want her marrying somebody that will be inheriting titles or that could inherit titles. He will likely inherit some of these titles, I would think. So let's fire her off in that matrilineal marriage. Now I'm going to pick up Bounteous Loins because that again increases our fertility. And remember, this is for all dynasty members, not just us. Italy holds this land I want. Actually, Italy's in rough shape. I think we can actually declare war for this land without any issues. And I bet you this is going to be really easy. Okay, and we took the capital with a valuable hostage. Let's enforce the demands here, and Corsica is now ours. So it's just about biding your time, waiting until these bigger empires start to crumble, and then pouncing. Okay, so I was just looking over here, and the Byzantine emperor just changed over. He's only got 31,000 troops. We have 37. We can declare war for the Earldom of Sicily and pick up these last two little holdings we need. We've got more lustful points. Actually, we've got 2, so we can get moral adoration and seducer, which will ultimately give us a boost to our fertility, a boost to our attraction, which is definitely needed as we're getting up there in age, because the older you are, the less attractive you become, unless you have lots and lots of money. Perfect. So at 100%, we can now enforce the demands down here. And I've also had the ability to create the Kingdom of Sardinia for quite some time. So let's go ahead and create that. Beautiful. So we're now a mighty king. Okay, so we've died. We'll continue as King Ragnar. And we had a grandson. Good old little tyke.
Who's this little?
Well, it's been quite a while since anybody called me a tyke.
So we've got the ability to unlock another dynasty legacy. I'm gonna go with desirable match, which will increase our marriage acceptance. So we want to be marrying other counts and dukes and things like that. Okay, so I want to show you guys this, right? So I was marrying my daughters off. So this guy wound up inheriting this title up here. He's married in a matrilineal marriage to my daughter. But because he holds this duchy here, she is considered a duke by marriage. and their kid is of our dynasty with our nice, beautiful Winnie the Pooh logo. And if you're wondering why we have the Winnie the Pooh logo, well, I had to instill a principle in my house members, and that was to go out and reproduce like crazy. And what better way to do that than by living like Winnie the Pooh? All shirt, no pants. When this guy dies and their kid, who is of our dynasty, inherits the title, we will not have a duke by marriage, but a full-on duke, and they will be running the show and giving us extra renown. All right, so I'm gonna be casting my vote for my son here. He's our new player heir, and it's just as appropriate because we're on the verge of death. Perfect. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Unfortunately, we only have one title now. We only hold one title. Okay, we've had war declared on us by these guys. Oh, he's trying to reclaim his relics. Okay, okay, and we just need to siege their capital and, okay, so we got a valuable hostage in that. Let's enforce the demands. Beautiful.
What the fuck?
Oh, and we actually seized an artifact from him in his war against us to reclaim his artifact. Oh my god, what a dumbass. I'm gonna come over to my army here, and I'm going to make sure that my men-at-arms regiments are maxed out. The best guys by far are the Varangian veterans. I love these guys. So let's max them out. So our army's at 3,000 dudes now. We do not have the gold to support this army, but what we need to do is revoke the titles so we get the land back to be able to get the gold to support this army. Even if they put up a fight for it, we'll be able to smack them up. Okay, and just after taking a ton of land, we can enforce the demands. And now, most, if not all of our vassals are in prison. I'm just going to go ahead and revoke everyone's title because, well, they're rightfully mine. And I think, you know what? Let's increase the level of our court grandeur as well. This will cost us 3.2 gold per month, but it'll be well worth it in the long run. Okay, so we're making our way on up the diplomat tree to accomplished forger, and what that'll allow us to do is buy an artifact claim. Now, we can spend some prestige and then go ahead and buy claims on artifacts from other people. They have all these sick artifacts that increase your monthly renown, especially some that increase it by a percentage. So we'll definitely be looking to buy claims on that. For some reason, my vassals have taken land all the way up here. What I'm gonna do is I made sure that my house member, good old little Tyke, has secured this title here, and I'm going to go ahead and just grant him independence. So I'm looking at the Abbasid army. They're in 2 wars, and they're only at 5,000 dudes now. They might be distracted enough where I could go raid them and try and seize an artifact from their capital. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So let's send the boys in. Oh, is that not the capital anymore?
Yet.
Oh, that's not the capital anymore. Okay, let's see if we can't get in here and get out quickly. Oh, and we got a sick artifact from that, bro. What is this? This increases our renown per month. That's actually lit. Okay, I gotta get out of here before my boys get absolutely wrecked. And we've also picked up accomplished forger. Now we're actually gonna be flying. All we have to do is find artifacts we want. Had another daughter, a genius daughter. Oh man, that would actually be sick to play as. I inherited this chiefdom. Where's this? I inherited this chiefdom all the way up here. How? How did I inherit this? From whom? Okay, all right. Let's grant this to one of our sons here. So I'm gonna look up to the King of West Francia here. I'm going to buy an artifact claim from him, and I'm going to look for his throne, the Carling throne, which gives renown. We can declare war for it. Oh, and they're coming for me, but we will knock them about. That puts us on 100% war score, so we can enforce the demand, and the Carling throne is now ours. Our renown's currently at 10.1. Wow. But when we lock this Carling throne in, 10.31.
Oh, that's hot.
So I have this daughter here that I've been grooming. She's a genius, astute intellectual, stubborn, diligent, and callous. So I'm going to try and elect her as my successor. And there is actually an overpowered strategy if you're playing as a woman who is diligent. It's absolutely mind-blowing. But now it's time to actually reform our Norse culture. If we go to try and diverge the culture, I think I'm gonna pick up the bureaucratic lifestyle. Not only does this increase your monthly lifestyle experience, but it basically helps you research faster, and it helps you increase the development of your lands. And in terms of traditions, we're going to sub out a few. Malleable invaders is a great tradition if you want to reform your religion. We don't want to do that. We want to pick up castle keepers, and the reason being is because rulers of this culture will gain prestige and renown from holding in castle holdings. So this one's actually going to be sick. Now, performative honor allows you to have more knights. Again, not something we absolutely need. I'm going to pick up culinary artists in this case. It does increase the cost of your feasts, but it gives you renown for each feast you have. So that's kind of great. And then finally, expert artisans. Now, not only does expert artisans allow you to build things quicker, but it also makes sure characters of this culture produce higher quality artifacts. And we really want to max out the artifacts we have that give us renown. So let's go ahead, lock this in, and diverge this bad boy.
Let's go.
I think I'll declare war down here for the actual duchy, and it'll pretty much allow us to form a kingdom after that. Okay, right away we caught a valuable hostage. Let's go ahead and enforce these demands. And then creating the kingdom will give us 400 prestige. So I found this kid in my dynasty. He's not half bad. Let's grant him this title as well as the Jarldom and the kingdom, so he'll become independent, and that will boost our renown up a little bit. Okay, so I have died actually at the perfect time, and now we're playing as our daughter. Now, remember I said that it's OP to play as a diligent woman in this game? Well, it very much is. If you come over to your quarters, you can hire up to 2 ladies in waiting. They help you lose stress like it's nobody's business. So let's lock in one here, and we're gonna make sure she likes us because we don't want her joining schemes against us. And because our stress is going down by so much, we can actually exercise the decision to develop the capital as often as possible, pretty much on cooldown. It'll cause us 80 stress, but watch this. So let's develop the capital. This puts us over the limit, but I'm also going to host an exotic feast, which will help us lose 38 stress and put us under the limit. Managing your stress in this game is very important. If you take too much stress on, you gain bad traits, and then these negative pop-ups happen and things like that. So you have to kind of take stress into consideration. As you know, the development of your lands directly impacts how fast you can research technologies. So the more we can develop our capital, because we have the diligent trait, we can research techs faster. We also have an available dynasty legacy we can pick up. I'm gonna start going down the blood tree. I wanna have a really, really good heir this life. Because I've been saving and hoarding my renown forever, I can actually just go ahead and buy a bunch of these. Now for architected ancestry, I'm gonna pick up the fecund trait. I want people in my dynasty more fertile. Okay, we have the option to develop the capital yet again, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we have this person come to our court. She wants to form a regalia. Let's go ahead and sponsor that inspiration, and hopefully with expert artisans, that helps. Ooh, she formed us a beautiful regalia that gives us plus 2% monthly renown. Expert artisans actually hooked me up, not down. And taking a look at our other house members, this guy is now a giant irritable man, and he's huge. Up here, this guy too is also losing his wars, but he's quite large. And we finally picked up accomplished forager. I was taking a look at the Great Moravia. They have this furniture here that gives them a 0.1 boost to their renown monthly. I would love to have it, so I'm going to go ahead and buy an artifact claim on it. And now that our army is quite beefy, I can go ahead and try and demand this, and he'll just accept and give it to me without a fight even. Oh, okay, this guy's got a crown with 0.1 per month renown. Oh my god, this one gives monthly renown at plus 5%. I didn't even see this crown. The illustrious pedestal item. Okay, I'm gonna buy a claim on this one because this one looks kind of sick. And I will go ahead and challenge him for this artifact. Oh, here we go. High, medium, let's try it. Yes! Single combat victory, I am victorious. And I have now become the owner of the crown of Justinian. And I'm gonna be dead within a year, but who cares? My old lady ass just beat this guy senseless in single-handed combat. Boom, and let's put that down, and you'll see our renown went from 18 to 19. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so we've died. We're now playing as this son. We have battlements and manorialism now, so if we just stack our gold, we should be able to upgrade our castle holdings and all of our buildings. So let's go on just raids like crazy, take gold, plunder, pillage, all that good stuff a Viking should be doing. One of the things I wanted to show you was this. Because we have the Castle Keeper's innovation here, we'll get renown every time we upgrade one of our castles. So look, if we upgrade to a level 2 castle, our level of renown goes up by 0.1 per month. But okay, so we died. We're playing as our son, just as expected. We're gonna spend this life finalizing any artifact claims we might want or need, and then pushing through with the exploit. All right, and now that we've got accomplished forager unlocked, the Byzantines have some artifacts. We'll buy the artifact claim. Okay, let's try challenging them for the artifact. Oh, he refuses our challenge, so we gain 600 prestige from that. What a little bitch boy. Okay, let's try and steal it, I guess. 37% chance, better than nothing, right? Oh, steal artifact, success. Oh, we got it. All right, beautiful. Another renown-based artifact for our collection. All right, and I've gained cancer. It's kind of the right time for it. I kind of want to die and flip over to my son. Okay, so we've died, and we're going to be playing as our Chad of a son. He's got a big honker, but that's okay.
That's quite big.
Look at him. That is beautiful. And now I can go ahead and secure the Mediterranean. This decision is going to allow me to absolutely exploit this whole game and get insane amounts of renown. Look at us now. We're at 22.73 renown per month. But after we hit this, this is going to grow like absolutely crazy. So there's a bug currently in the game, and instead of giving you 25% overall, it gives you 25% per living house member. And this puts us at 291 renown per month. I've never seen it that high. But ladies and gentlemen, we're not stopping there.
No.
We are going to push this to the absolute limit, and we're going to try and get this to the highest number we can. So I have one question for you. Are you ready? If you take a look at our Dynasty Legacies, we should be able to fly up all these. Oh my god, not even a year later, another Dynasty Legacy. Oh my god, like, again, pick up Constant Care. I think that's gonna be nice. And we have another Dynasty Legacy. Let's pick that up. These are coming like it's nobody's business. And finally, we've got Accomplished Forger. So now you're gonna see our renown go up even further. Yet another at the year 1138.
Wow.
Down here in Egypt, he has an item that gives him renown, so let's go ahead and buy a claim on that. What is this, a potion from Minecraft? What is this? And we can challenge him for it. Here we go. This is literally not even fair at this point. All right, another Dynasty Legacy. Oh, our weapon, because we've killed so many people with it, gains additional prestige. You'd love to see it. What's going on to Ireland? Why does Ireland have all this? You're crazy, man. Oh, steal artifact success. One more artifact. Let's lock this bad boy in. Let's declare war against Burgundy. We'll invade the Kingdom of Burgundy. I'm thinking if we just land on his shores, we take the whole kingdom, we can give it to one of our sons. Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
No way! On the first shot, we got a valuable hostage. And now that I have the Kingdom of Burgundy, I'm just going to grant it to this son over here, and he can have full-on independence. And you'll see our renown will jump from 658 to 727. Oh my god. Like, that's just stupid.
You stupid.
Up here, 900 dudes. Let's declare war. Okay, and we can enforce this demand down here. Okay, you got enough troops to be able to grant independence, dude. And our renown will be almost at 800. Navarro's actually a kingdom tier if we war him. Okay, and we got 100% down here in this war, so let's enforce the demands. And now that we have the kingdom, I can grant this son the Jarldom and the kingdom, which will give him independence. We got another Dynasty Legacy, okay. Well, what I could do is declare war over here against these little Tunisian boys. And I'll grant this guy independence as well. Okay, and now we've hit over 1,000 renown per month. That's absolutely insane. And as you can see, we've maxed out every single one. It's 20,000 per legacy I'm waiting for now. In all honesty though, I think this is a great place to end it. Probably the most legendary dynasty of all time, the Kardashians. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. A huge thanks to my lovely Patreons. And if I had to sign off with anything, it's just one phrase that I feel captures my entire essence. And that's all shirt, no pants. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.